Let's jump into our vowel review. A, apple. E, ed. I, itch. O, octopus. U, up. All right, we are introducing two new letters. We've got P, pan, P. So this is a P. And then we've got J, jug, J. So this is a J. We are going to work on some handwriting skills for the letter P and J. We are going to start with the letter P. P is a plain line letter. That means it starts on the plain line. We've got our airplane right here, and it's going to start on this line. So P starts on the plain line. We are going to start right there. We're going to go all the way down to the worm line. After we're down at the worm line, we are going to trace all the way back up to the plain line and curve around to the grass line. And that is the letter P. So let's do that again. Starting from the plain line, go all the way down to the worm line, trace all the way back up to the plain line, and curve around to the grass line. Let's write that two more times. Starting at the plain line, going all the way down to the worm line, back up to the plain line, and curve around to the grass line. Start at the plain line, go down to the worm line, back up to the plain line, and curve around to the grass line. And that is the practice of handwriting the letter P. P, pan, P. Now we are going to practice handwriting the letter J. J, jug, J. J is a plain line letter, so it starts on the plain line just like the P. So I'm pointing at the plain line right here. We got our airplane, and that is where J starts. So we're going to go ahead and write, starting at the plain line, we're going to go all the way down to the worm line, just like in the P, but at the bottom we are going to make a curve. Okay, just like that. After you made your curve, you can stop right there and make a dot. And that is the letter J. Let's do that again. Starting at the plain line, go all the way down to the worm line, make a curve, and then a dot. Starting at the plain line, going all the way down to the worm line, make a curve, dot. One more time. Starting at the plain line, all the way down to the worm line, curve, dot. J, jug, J. Thank you for joining me today for our new letter recognition and our handwriting skills. This is our week 5, day 1 reading and ELA activity. So it's called Bake a Cake and it's sequencing. So we read through each part, put it in the bowl, stir it up, put it in a pan, bake it, put on the frosting, eat it up, yummy. So you're putting all of these pictures in order of what this is saying. So it's got 1, 2, 3, and 4. You can also draw a picture of these if you would like. I am so excited to announce that we are going to start a new assignment on Mondays that will be due every Thursday, and it's going to do with writing Pete the cat. I had a parent of one of my students inspire me to do this, so I want to thank them, and I am just super excited to start on this journey. If you are not familiar with Pete the cat, this is what he looks like. He is a cat that goes on many adventures. And he usually has a song to sing about his adventures that make it really catchy and easy to understand what's going on in the song. So his books are really fun for comprehension for your child. You can find him by going to YouTube and typing in Pete the Cat, and all kinds of stories will come up. This just happens to be a book that I have about Pete the Cat. I love Pete the Cat and all of his stories and all of his adventures he goes on. Now for our assignment, I have this really nice blue envelope, and I'm going to be putting in all of your letters that you write to Pete the Cat into here, and then I'm going to write his address in the middle with mine over here on the left-hand corner, and I'm going to send them in every Thursday whenever I get everybody's. Now for the writing part of it, you can write to Pete about anything. You can write to him about a book that you're reading with him in it. You can write to him about activities that you enjoy doing at home, such as playing in the backyard, cooking with your parents, really anything that you can think of that you would like to write to Pete the Cat. So I'm going to do a writing sample, just an example of something that you can write to Pete the Cat. Remember, it is never going to be too short and it's never going to be too long, so write as much as you want to. So here's how you're always going to start your letters. Dear Pete with a comma. And you can also write Dear Pete the Cat if you would like to. This is just the way that I'm going to start it, so I'm putting Dear Pete, comma. Okay, so here's my first sentence. I enjoyed your book, Pete the Cat and the New Guy. So all I'm doing with this first sentence is basically telling Pete, hey, I really enjoy reading this book. Next, I'm going to add a sentence about what I liked in the book, Pete the Cat and the New Guy. So here's my second sentence. My favorite part is where you met Gus the platypus. So I talked about a fact that happened in the book, and that's what you can go over with your child. And then at the end, I'm adding a question. Do you enjoy meeting new people? Now, I asked a question in the letter because I'm going to see if Pete the Cat will answer my question. And then you're going to end your whole letter with your friend, and then you put your name. So I put your friend, Mrs. Benish. You can also put thank you, talk to you soon, sincerely, anything that you would like, but I just went ahead and put your friend, Mrs. Benish, and that's how you can structure your letter. Here's another example of a letter you can write to Pete the Cat. So it says, Dear Pete at the top with your comma. I like to cook with my family, and that's a statement, so that ends with a period. What do you like to do in your free time? Question mark. So you want to make sure you're adding that correct punctuation. We have a period when it's a statement and a question mark when it's a question. And then it says, your friend, Mrs. Benish. So this is another example that you can write for Pete the Cat. Keep in mind, students, that you have 4 days to complete this, so you can do one sentence at a time each day, starting on Monday. And then don't forget, parents, on Thursday, please either email your child's response or send it to me via the Remind app, and I can get this sent in to Pete the Cat. Good job today on reading and ELA.